Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, I've done a little bit of off-camera stuff, more or less just to get us some good tools and a little bit of better armor. But we need resources, and I've done a handful of gathering of stuff off-camera, but not a whole lot. Now, let me just show you what I did. So I did a little bit of mining, obviously. So we have some redstone, some diamonds, some gold, some iron, some copper. And not really much else over here, kind of just more standard stuff. I do have mending. I have a mending villager over off at a village way over that way, but that's about all we got there. I have a little egg farm, a couple beehives for honeycomb, as we are going to need that. But I have a little bit of things set up over on the Mushroom Island over here, in case you guys saw in the last episode, which I do want you guys to stay around to the end of this episode, as I got a special little thing, and I'll explain it once we get there. But for now, just bear with me. So let's quick boat over. We are here. Now, over up on this island, I've actually done some farming and stuff. So here's where we have our enchantment table. We have a couple sugarcane farms here. Actually, 3 of them, because I'm just trading paper to get all my stuff, and quite the big amount of cows. Also some wheat farms right here and there. And maybe, if you've noticed, through this massive pan shot, there is no brown mushrooms left on the island anymore. Now that light over there, that's where the skeleton spawner is. I did actually manage to find a skeleton spawner. It's right by the surface. So let's just quick go take a look at this. It's just right over here. There's a large cave there. But right here, there's a skeleton spawner. So if I just go into the ground, it is actually right here. So it is only a couple blocks underneath the surface. I just got a little room here to collect the drops. But yeah. Also, apart from that, there is one thing I wanted to show you guys. So we'll just quick sleep in the bed here. And if we look in the pen, maybe... Where is it? Let's go free cam so we can try to find this thing. There it is. There's a brown baby mushroom in here. Now, I didn't know this when I was breeding up the cows. There hasn't been a thunderstorm on this world yet. And somehow we have this. How? Well, by breeding 2 red mushrooms, there's a 1 in 1,024 chance that the baby turns out to be a brown mushroom. Yeah, I did not know that. At all. So I was very confused when I saw a brown mushroom in the pen. Yeah, let's step away. It is actually quite loud. But yeah, I was not expecting to find a brown mushroom in the pen. But if we do come over here, I have been gathering quite a bit of seeds, as we will be needing that for a later project. But also I've gathered all the brown mushroom blocks on the island. A little bit more in this chest as well, but it is a lot. But it'll make a lot of sense once I tell you that the pathways for our project are actually going to be made out of brown mushroom blocks and packed mud, which is the reason why I've been getting so much wheat. Also, for the reason of, where is it? In here, I have a lot of hay bales, and also I have a maxed out hoe. Yeah, I got pretty lucky with the hoe, so I just got some better enchants on it and maxed it out. But for that little thing over there, it's gotten a little small. We have too many resources already for that thing, so we actually need to upgrade. But to upgrade, we gotta do some resource gathering. So, let's head into the boat, and then find some good resources off in the distance. Now what resources... I just get stuck on that fish? I did. Now what resources we're gonna need? Well, we're gonna need a lot of copper. We're gonna need a lot of wood, some diorites, some granite, some spruce. But most importantly, just a lot and a lot of oak. A lot of oak. An unhealthy amount of oak. But we also do need some other blocks as well. So I'm gonna go look out for those. And also, it's always good to have more wood types, because right now we only have access to 3 wood types: birch, oak, and spruce. I want some more wood types, because wood types are always good, and we're gonna need a lot of mangrove leaves for stuff, as well as mangrove roots. So we do need to see if we can find mangrove, but I have no idea where some of that is. So we'll just have to try to find it. So, I'm gonna go find some stuff, and see you guys back when I've got it. Okay. Somehow I just managed to find it. Also, the island is right over here. But I just come back this way just a little bit. Yeah, there's the Mushroom Island. There's the mangrove. I literally just stopped recording 5 seconds ago. Okay. Well, and we seem to also then have acacia, which is also kind of nice. Well, there's two more of our wood types, I guess. Anyways, back to finding more loot. And after a couple hours of resource gathering, we have a ton of resources in these 3 chests behind me. So let's start off with the top one. We got a lot of diorite, a lot of granite. Found a dripstone cave, so I grabbed some of that. Found a jungle temple, so grabbed some mossy cobblestone. We got nearly 4 stacks of raw copper blocks, some iron, and a lot of coal, so that's going to be really good for smelting all of this up, because we need all this smelted pretty quickly. Now onto the main resource chest. We got mangrove saplings, acacia saplings, dark oak, jungle. Got a lot of dark oak wood, some bamboo blocks, some more glowberries, some cocoa beans. What else did we get? Oh yes, a chunk of spruce wood and also a lot of oak wood. Why that much oak wood? Well, you'll see. Probably in the thumbnail, actually. You've probably already seen. But we need a lot of oak wood, because the builds we're going to do are primarily composed of oak. But now, on to the kind of miscellaneous chest. We got some gold horse armor out of the Jungle Temple. I've got some beehives, most of the redstones from Jungle Temple, including 2 wild armor trims. First armor trims we've actually got, so that's quite nice. Found a couple ruined portals and a lot of pillagers. I did not like the pillagers that much, but so be it. But we are missing 1 resource for what we need to do, and that is actually sniffer eggs. We need sniffers because I need torch flowers, because torch flowers look amazing, and, well, yeah, we're gonna need torch flowers. I've already made myself a brush, but we need to now go and venture off into lukewarm oceans to see if we can find those ocean ruins. So let's get off and see what we can find. Well, this is a coral biome, but not exactly what I want. There's a shipwreck here, so I'm going to see what this shipwreck has. Well, the shipwreck didn't have too much, but we did get a gold and iron nautilus trim, as well as also a coast armor trim. So, pretty good. Nothing too crazy. On to finding ocean ruins again. Yes! Finally! After all this time, we have 1 of 2 sniffer eggs, because I do want to have 2 so I can breed them up, because sniffers are quite nice, and I want to use a lot of torch flowers. Oh, I have had way too many brushes with death in this, and I really am getting to hate drowns. I typically build with water and underwater, so honestly, I feel like I should have known this already, but man, can drowns be deadly. Now, we also did manage to get a buried treasure map from the ocean ruins, so I want to use it to get Heart of the Sea. Ah, there it is. Pretty nice. Ooh, even a diamond, too. I will take that. Some extra food, that's always good. Potion of water breathing, that actually could help us a lot in what we've been doing. And yeah, we'll just toss it there. I did see a ruined portal just over here, so let's grab that then. Ooh, a lot of turtles. Well, if you're not a longtime viewer of the channel, maybe you don't know, but I actually really like goat horns. Yeah, I got a little distracted and found this. I still haven't got the last sniffer egg, but we do have 2 allays now, which actually gives me the perfect idea for what we're going to do. And we'll see that in a couple minutes here, probably. But, yeah, let me get this last final sniffer egg. I really should not keep adding more stuff to this. Yes! Finally! You don't want to know how many hours this has taken me. I've been out here for over 2 hours. I don't even care about anything else anymore. I just want to go home. But I have no idea where home is. We have the second one. We have 2 allays. Yep, there's the second one. Now I gotta figure out my way home. I'm in the middle of an ocean, and I don't know where. So we're just going to go in this direction and hope it's somewhere close. After a long time out at sea, we are now back. We were actually pretty close. We're only about 2,000 blocks out. It only took me a little bit to get here. But, yeah, I just want to sleep now. But, hey, that's back. I now need to leash these guys. Where is more leads? I only have one lead. Do I have extra string? Yes, I do actually. That's really good. Give me a lead. Ooh, it actually makes 2. That's actually really nice. Okay, trade that out. Where are you two troublemakers? Get down here. One, troublemaker number 1. And here, troublemaker number 2. I'm just going to come over here and leash you onto that with the horse. Thank you. Now, what we need to do, and the reason why I actually picked up the allays when I saw the pillager outpost, is because I remember seeing a Swedish Beans video where he actually used some allays to pick up the Sniffer's drops. And I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. I remember seeing that. So, yeah, I picked up 2 allays. These things have caused me more headache than probably what they're going to be worth, but we'll have to see. Anyways, I got to deal with all my inventory stuff, including the boat that's full of loot over there. Short that into chests, and then we can get to building the Sniffer farm. Well, I smelt up all of this copper and iron. I'm standing on the Mushroom Island, and right behind me is where we're going to build the Sniffer farm. I have all the resources in my inventory, so let's build it, because I designed my own in Creative, and it was actually incredibly simple, so I actually want to show you guys how this is done. So, here we're going to put the grass. I'm just going to make a little bit of a distance here between it. We'll do something like that. I just realized I need my crafting table up because I forgot to make slabs. How stupid am I? Quite stupid, actually. But we're going to have a slab right here. I'll just build up just like that. The note block will actually go right here. And just coming out the side here, I got to put some stone in. But we actually are just going to make just a little repeater clock going all the way around. It's actually really, really simple. And it'll just keep hitting the note block, so all delays actually will just stay, like, right here, actually. So we can just do this, 4 ticks all around, da-da-da, da-da-da, and I'll just make a button. I'm not actually going to fully activate it quite yet because I don't want to just go off like all the time. So let's get the barrel in here and then the 2 hoppers. One there, and if I can place, there we go. Right there. And now all we have to do is actually just cover this up and yeah, in fact, that's actually literally just it though. Like, this is actually just the farm. Basically. And then the only main thing that we actually then have to do is we can't have this, so I'm just going to create just a little wall here, cover this up like that, and yeah, this will actually work just really nicely, actually. And now all we have to do is just make the pad of grass here. So I have 3 stacks of grass blocks. I'm going to get this in, get the Sniffers planted, and this all around, and then we can get the seeds. And I can bring the allays over, and you just put one of each of the different types of seeds, so the pitcher plot and the torch flower, and it'll just siphon all into here, and they'll just keep throwing it at it. And then, well, as we saw it, it'll then just come down. Where is it? Am I blind? Oh, it's here. It'll just come into this barrel right here. So, yeah, it'll actually just come right there. But yeah, I'm gonna get the grass blocks in, and then we're gonna start building. Directly behind me in these chests is all the resources that we're gonna need to build the village. So in this chest, we have all the stuff for the pass, and in this chest, we have all the stuff for the houses. And this chest is empty, and this chest has the moss. But we now need to get building across all of here. So let's do that in the form of a time lapse. as you saw in the time-lapse, we now have this beautiful thing. We have 3 houses so far, as well as the fountain. And there is going to be a lot more houses to come, but I'm nearly out of oak logs. We had 11 stacks, I think it was, and I'm down to just a little over 1 stack. That's not exactly enough for a house. So, let me show you guys these houses. So, here's obviously the house. Let's do a free cam look. And they look really good. We are going to have to sadly remove this, but, well, it served us great for the first episode and a bit. 2 episodes. We'll call it 2 episodes. Though, really, I haven't lived much out of it. I primarily lived out of this. Because 2 chests really does not do enough. But we have these beautiful houses. We have a beautiful fountain here as kind of a centerpiece of the town. There is some work I need to do in between this episode and the next one. More or less just fine things like going along here and changing out these grass blocks to moss. Adding some vegetation around, doing some little touch-up details, and also, as I found out, place slabs in the tops of these, because I forgot to consider this, and, well, mobs are spawning up here. I found that out when there was a witch in one of my ceilings, on the first house, actually, when I was building this house. But these houses here, most of them are going to be primarily empty. Maybe I'll do interiors at some point, but they do look quite nice. But this house, on the other hand, this one's a little bit different. We're actually going to be living in this house, so I have to move myself in between this episode and the next episode, and also gather a lot of resources as well, because we currently do not have enough resources to do what I want to do in the next episode, and it's going to take me a long time to get all those. But, yeah, so let me show you around. We have beautiful oak log walls, well, oak log pillars and boarding, and then some diorite walls for detail. Got some windows out the back here, but we're gonna have a couple chests here, a bunch of chests here, some furnaces, and eventually an e-chest when we get it. We don't have ender pearls or blaze rods yet, but we do have a lot of obsidian because I spent like an hour grinding obsidian, and I don't understand why. But we have like 2.5 stacks of obsidian now. Kind of dumb, but we have some beautiful torch flowers in the planters. Up here at the front, we have 1 torch flower hanging down. It looks great. But if we come all around here, there's in a handful of different shapes. I did end up using the same deck design. I have another one that I'll show a little bit later, but this just happened to be the first one that kind of ended up getting used. And kind of just how the positioning was of the stuff, it actually just ended up working really well. But there's some details I need to work out. This, well, looking at the topographical perspective, like this, I totally butchered that word, but I think it'll actually be good if I move it over 3 blocks. So I'll tear this down in between this episode and the next one, and move it over, do some little edge detail, but we are certainly going to need a moss farm. I think next episode, one of our main things is going to be making a moss farm, but now it is time for the commentary cut, which is a new part of my episodes that I want to introduce starting, well, now. And the commentary cut, to give a brief explanation of what it is I'm going to be reading off some comments from the prior episode. So, time to look at some of the comments from the prior episode that I chose and I thought would be good for the first commentary cut. So let's start off with this one. From Lobo Wari, bro, that base is really amazing. It's simple but beautiful, and what he's referring to is, nonetheless, but our little carriage out here, which is, yeah, absolutely simple, and it's a beauty, like he said. I do absolutely love it. It was designed to be very simple, very early game friendly, especially with the resources used. It's wool and wood. The most expensive things on it are actually just the lanterns. So it makes a really nice starter base, and I spent a good hour or so actually refining this. But on to the second comment from Arskull 207, Mr. Deltaman, or if that's really your real name, do you plan on abandoning this series within 2 weeks come the end of the 2-week microphase? No. The simple answer is no. I have plans that are going to stretch months, and that's just what I have planned right now. And that's just the stuff I've been working on. I have even more plans than that. Is it maybe going a little too far ahead? Absolutely. But who knows what I could get up to, and who knows, with you guys watching, I'll continue it as long as it honestly may take. Who knows, this series could last a decade, maybe even 2, or it could end within, like, 3 months, I don't know. But I have a lot of stuff planned, I got a lot of builds I want to do, and this little village here that we just started is certainly the first step towards it, and it will not be the last. But with that, I wish to thank you for watching all the way to the end, and hey, leave a comment down below, and maybe you'll be in the next commentary cut come next episode. But with that, I will see you guys later on another episode of Delta's World. Goodbye.